Hello, my name is Nur Hasmiah, no matrix 202550783 from group 3.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhanim Najwa binti Paramajin and my matrix number is 2025194415.
And hi everyone, my name is Wahida binti Sriaman from group 3 and my number matrix is 2025306109.
Hello, my name is Siti Zulaika Nazira binti Muhammad Chaprin. My ID matrix is 2025163 I am from group 3.
Guys, do you know what is the compound interest is?
Compound interest is the interest calculated on the initial principal amount as well as the accumulated interest from the previous period. It's actually a super cool money concept when your money doesn't just earn interest on the original amount you saved, but it also on the interest you have already earned.
So, the formula for the compound interest is
This, which is S equal P bracket 1 plus I bracket power of N.
and the formula for the interest is this.
Okay, now it's my turn to explain the chapter 4. What is annuity? An annuity is a financial product that keeps regular payment over a period of time, like getting a paycheck from money you already saved. This is the formula. Filter W for from the accumulated amount. So S equal to R bracket 1 plus I power N minus 1 divided I bracket. So for the interest equal to S minus NR. But the last formula of the chapter 4 is the present value for fine installment or loan. So A equal to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket power negative N divided I bracket. So that's
Hello guys, so let's get started with question number 1. So as you can see, we need to borrow 50,000 loan, which is going to be our P, for 7 years, which is going to be our T. Okay, so we look at Kun Bank. So the P is going to be 50,000, which is our loan, and the T for 7 years, and the K is going to be our interest 0.0285, and the M computed every 4 months, which is 3. So the formula we're going to use is S equals to P1 plus I power of MT. So with our information, we can fill up the formula, which S equals to 50,000, 1 plus Km, which is K 0.0285 divided by 3, and the power of M, which is 3, and T, which is 7. So there you go. We got the total of our sum amount, which is RM 60,982 ringgit and 16 cents. So now we're gonna find the interest charge. So the formula we're gonna use is I equals to S minus P. So let's insert our total of S and minus by our P, which is 50,000. So the total we'll be getting is 10,982 ringgit and 60 cents. Okay, so let's calculate for Antabang. Okay, so it's the same thing. We have our information, which is P equals to 50K, and the T is the same as well, which is 7 years, and the K is different since we have 0.0279 for the interest, and M compounded quarterly, which is going to be 4. So the formula we'll be using is S equals to P1 plus I power of MT. Okay, so let's insert our information, which is S equals to P, which is our 50,000, 1 plus Km, so the K is 0.0279 over 4. So M is 4 and T is going to be 7. So the total we'll be getting is 60,742 and 59 cents. Okay, let's not forget to calculate our interest charge. So we're going to use the same formula, which is I equals to S minus P. So for the I, we got our S, which is 60,742 and 59 cents, minus by our P, which is 50,000. So the total we'll be getting will be 10,742 and 59 cents.
So now let's move to questions B.
So the question is, which company should you choose to borrow the loan based on your answer in A and give your results? I would like to choose Anta Bank because the total interest charge over 7 years is lower by about 239.57 ringgit compared to Kun Bank.
Okay, let's move to question C, which is about calculating the final amount and total interest paid after a change in interest rate during a loan period. So first, we need to understand the question, which is state that after 3 years and 7 months, the bank changed the interest rate to 3.11% compounded monthly, and we need to calculate how much we need to pay at the end of 7 years and also the total interest paid. So the original principal was 50,000 and the original interest rate was 2.79% that compounded quarterly, and the time period before the rate change is 3 years and 7 months, which is equivalent to 3.583 years. To solve this question, we use the compound interest formula, which is S equals to P in bracket 1 plus I and power of n. Then we substitute into the formula, which is S equals to 50,000 and in bracket 1 plus 0.027 divided by 4 and power of 14.3333. Then we get the new amount, that S equals to 55,238 ringgit, which now becomes the new principal. Okay, the next step is we need to solve the rate that changed to 3.11% that compounded monthly, and the remaining time is from 3 years 7 months until 7 years, so the difference is 3 years and 5 months, which is about 3.4167 years. Now the new P is 55,238, the K is 3.11%, and if divided by 100 we get 0.0311, and last M equals to 12, which is mentionedly monthly. So using the same formula again, which is S equals to P in bracket 1 plus I and power of n. So the working step should be S equals to 55,238 in bracket 1 plus 0.0311 divided by 12 and power of 41. After that, we get the final amount, which is S equals to 61,422 ringgit and 24 cents. At last, to find total interest paid, we subtract the original principal from the final amount, which is I equals to S minus P. After using the formula, we get the total interest paid, which is 11,422 ringgit and 24 cents. So, at the end of 7 years, the total amount to be paid is 61,422 ringgit and 24 cents, and the total interest paid is 11,422 ringgit and 24 cents.
Okay, now let's move to study case 2. Okay, the question asks which option should Ramla choose. Justify your answer with relevant calculation. So this information given for the question.
Okay, now this formula we gonna use. A equal to R big bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket power negative n divide I brackets. Okay, so this is the working step, one by one.
So let's move to questions B, which is Ramla is taking off buy a new motorcycle for her son, start her installment plan by making a down payment of 25% followed by 60 equal monthly payments. So she anticipates the scooter to cost 20,750 ringgit and the interest charge is 4% compounded monthly. So let's calculate the monthly payment and the interest charge. So let's calculate the down payment, and the answer is 5187.50 ringgits. Then we're gonna calculate the balance, and the answer is 15562.50 ringgits. So let's calculate the monthly payment. So first we need to fill up all of the information given, and what is R and I, we get 0.04 over 12 and N 60. So the formula I'm gonna use, which is A equal R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket power of n and over I bracket. So the answer for R is 286.61 ringgits. And the last one, let's calculate the interest charge, which is I equal N R minus with A. And this is the answer.
Okay, so guys, let's see our question C. If she wants to settle all the loan immediately after paying 30 monthly payment, how much additional payment does she have to make? Alright, so we take our N, which is the original is 60, and we minus by 30, and the balance we got is 30. Alright, so the formula we'll be using is A equals to R, 1 minus 1 plus I, column power of negative n over I, alright, column. So so we get the amount of R, which is 286 and 61 cent, and 1 minus 1 plus 0.04 over 12, which is our km, and our n is negative 30 over I, which is 0.04 over 12. So the answer we're gonna get is RM 8,169 and 43 cent.
Okay, next, from part C, we already calculate the outstanding loan balance after 30 payments, which is 8,169 ringgit and 43 cent. This is the amount that still needs to be paid to settle the loan. And to find the total interest paid, we need to subtract the remaining loan amount from the total payment made by using the interest paid formula, which is I equals to NR minus 2A. And the working step is I equals to N, that will be 30, and the R is 286 ringgit and 61 cent minus to 8,169 ringgit and 43 cent. So the total interest paid over the 30 months is 428 ringgit and 87 cent.
Okay, let's move to question D. Okay, so R is the RM 4,028.53 ringgit, and the S is unknown, K 0.04, I is 0.04, divide 12, M is 12, N is 68. Okay, so the formula is S equal to R bracket 1 plus I bracket power N minus 1 divide I bracket. So this is the working step.